Hello. All right, let's get down to the questions. So, in your video, you state that over the past few years, the budget, according to the commander of the Southern Command, the budget's been right around 400 million for the past few years, and they don't see it really increasing that much over the horizon. It's not gonna automatically go to 500 million. But what happens if, like in the past, the inflation rate in this country explodes and the dollar's not worth as much, and now a person who doesn't really know all of that stuff sees that a base that used to cost 400 million to run annually jumps up to 600 million annually just to hold 100 detainees. Don't you think that'd be a bit of an extreme?
Inflation is an unfortunate fact of life, but fortunately it's merely an optics one. Basic economics tell us that as this happens for inflation, that eventually it'll adjust back to a medium as employers pay more to adjust for inflation and the budget normalizes. So it doesn't really affect much in the long run.
All right. And you also state that it would be a security reasons because you'd be putting the terrorists, most of them detainees, right next to grandpa and grandma. Don't you think though that straight out of PR reasons, security would be the top of their priority, and they would move it to a secure, classified location, and wouldn't tell anybody where they're building it, and then keep it hundreds of miles, maybe even close to 1,000 miles away from the nearest town. That way, even if someone did manage to escape, which hasn't been really reported in the past, they would die before they even got anywhere because purely out of starvation.
Maybe. And the military would probably pick somewhere to put it, but it's more risk that I don't feel is necessary. And regarding classifying it, why would you move the prisoners and then not tell anybody that you've moved them or where they are?
Well,
That reflects poorly on the government
but at the same
in an age where government transparency is a bigger issue.
But at the same time, don't you think having the base being so open to the public, everybody knows where Guantanamo Bay, Cuba is. It's not like it's in the random parts of Cuba where nobody knows. It's very, you can see it with your own eye, like a mile offshore, and that could pose a huge security risk. If you don't tell anybody, say, yeah, we're moving it, but we're not going to tell you where, don't you think that increases the security level of the base because no one really knows where it's at?
Maybe marginally, but that would increase terrorist propaganda even more than it already is by keeping it secret.
But don't you think at the same time though, if they were trying to spread the rumor, oh, they're holding us, and then people would say, oh, where are they holding us, and then you couldn't say, wouldn't that lower the authenticity of their threat because they can't give you valid reasons? It would
Perhaps.
it would just be all hypothetical, and those people, if they're gonna give their lives for something, are not gonna give their life for something for a hypothetical reason.